Still writing? Still writing. How many of you are able to write? All of you? Anybody having any problem? Sure? Only one written by? लेट आए थे. ये कौन सा वो हुआ भाई? मतलब लेट आने का प्रेरोगेटिव अगर किसी का है तो वो सिर्फ टीचर का है. ओके. राइट, फिनिश. किसने लिख लिया? ले आओ. Bring your copies. Include sheep वाला example. ये नहीं लगाना conclusion में. इतना बड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन. पॉइंट फॉर्मेट में लिखो ना, इसमें इतने सारे पॉइंट्स हैं. Discuss it in many short paragraphs, not like this. But it is the first answer is attempted good. First answer is good, but can be improved. Yes, more examples. है ना? It's good. Ma'am, is retributive and restorative punishment same? Yes. Good. First answer is good. तो दूसरा लिखो। ये जो तुम लोग चीटिंग करके मुझसे चेक करवा लेते हो ना, आधा आंसर लिख के, नॉट राइट। ये तुम्हारी राइटिंग समझने के लिए। राइटिंग थोड़ी और सुधार लो बस। Restorative is retributive. Hmm. Hmm. Equal proportionality. Hmm. क्वेश्चन है ना, विच इज बेटर, जस्टिफाई योर, किसी को भी करो जो तुम्हें पसंद हो, रिफॉर्मेटिव जनरली, तो डेटर्स लिख दो। जस्टिफाई योर व्यूज है ना, अपने मतलब। बैलेंस मतलब क्या बैलेंस? सो यू कैन से कि there may be a mix of all the three that can be utilized in different situations, like for not too harmful crimes, the restorative, or sorry, restorative, reformative can be used for psychologically affected criminals. Reformative can be used for certain crimes which we definitely want to create a deterrence in society. Deterrent theory can be used, like crimes against national security, crimes against dignity of women, child safety. While for all others, retributive is good. But आपने कुछ तो बताओगे ना, कौन सा क्यों बेहतर है, कहाँ लगाओगे? You must tell something. If you just give three systems and do not, which punishment theory is better, you do not tell. In what conditions? You have not answered the question. क्या बढ़िया handwriting. Immediately one wants to check this answer, isn't it? आपका नाम क्या बेटा? श्रेयांश। नहीं अभी नहीं कर रहा, नीचे वाला दे दो, नीचे वाला। देन व्हाट शुड वी डू? कहाँ लिखा है? अच्छा, थ्योरी ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं, रिफॉर्मेशन होगा बेटा, है ना? बट यहाँ पे एंड में लिखो ना ये वाले लाइन, एंड वाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट? बट इट्स अ गुड आंसर, वेरी गुड रादर। बच्चों को दिखा दो। इस वाले एक आंसर को स्कैन करो बस। सत्यम, ये पहले क्या लग रहा था, क्वेश्चन क्या है? व्हाट इज पनिशमेंट? मिल नहीं रहा क्वेश्चन में मुझे बात। जस्ट बिकॉज यू फील you know something, should you write only the things that are required by the question? ये पन्ना किसका है? तो बेटा इस पे अपने हस्ताक्षर क्यों नहीं किए? नाम तो लिखो। व्हाट इज योर नेम? सूरज, तो नाम तो लिखो। अच्छा तो लिखा है, अच्छा लिखा है, बट कंटिन्यू, राइट इट फुल। तुम लोगों को क्या लगता है मेरे को सबकी राइटिंग याद है? हाँ, नाम पते के साथ। एक किसकी है भैया कॉपी? Why are you so underconfident? Why are you doing cutting? You are writing fine. No, think, then write. But whatever you have written, again a good handwriting copy. Whose copy is it? Isn't it good? अरे सबकी नहीं चेक करी, वापस कर दो। अभी तक जिन्होंने दे दिया, हो गया। अगली बार से जल्दी लिखेंगे। गुड। अमन। Broken the legs. Generally, the sequence should be retributive, deterrent, and then reformative, because Generally, reformative is considered to be more modern and advanced theory. है ना? देखो, your answer is good, but the way it is looking like is rough notes. Try to make it more formal in appearance. Your answers should not look like rough notes. Your answer should look like beautifully put answer. Proper heading, proper subheadings, proper points. Rather than doing like this. Equal time. We feel that this is more quick, but actually equal time. See this answer written by your classmate only. Read it. फाइन, करूं आगे? Okay. In short, done. Of course, there should be more arguments for reformative theory. More arguments should be given. Proper conclusion should be given. Of course, it's not a very perfect answer, but for a starting, nicely put information, beautiful, and whatever information is given, quickly visible in a proper structure, isn't it? If I have to give marks and I have 2 copies, in one I don't know what is written, I have to stress my eyes, I have to find out where this person has written information and what order, and second copy is this. Equal knowledge, equal competence, and equal information in answers. But which answer will get more marks? Why? Structure. Information is visible. I don't have to stress out. And whatever is required, I can see. I can just move on and give marks. Isn't it? Same is with UPSC evaluators. Good. Nice presentation. Very good. कितना अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है देखो. All these examples you should use from your own understanding. Rishi Valmiki proves the power of reformation. And the person who is not willing to reform may be considered for. Isn't it? Nicely put. I'm showing you all this so that one day your Atma will also jagofy and you will start to write answer in good structure and format. Okay, fine. Today we are going to do individual and state. Very simple topic. Heading is individual and state. Rights, duties and accountability. First is, how is individual and state related? In simple terms, there can be only 4 types of relations. First is, state is evil. Hata do state. Individual feels like that I am free and I am completely free and I do not require any other agency or authority above me to control me. This means state is evil. Who believes it? Individual. What kind of theorist will believe in it? Extreme libertarians or anarchists? People who believe in anarchy. Anarchy is a system where we do not want anyone above us. No state. Anarchy. So anarchists will support that there should be no state or authority above individual to control it. Similarly, there are people, Marxist or Marxism, they also believe that state is evil. Why is state wrong? Because state is the instrument of rich to oppress poor. Why is state, according to Marxism, why is state required? To control crime and law and order? This means law and order and crime are controlled, like to prevent theft, to prevent murder. Who is going to steal something from the other? Poor is going to steal from whom? State is stopping this. For whom the state is working then? So state is a bourgeois concept, an instrument for rich bourgeois. Because state does everything, uske welfare activities hata do. All the other activities are mainly for the safety, security, protection and promotion of rich and affluent class. सड़क पे चले तो कोई किसी को लूटे नहीं. Houses should be safe. This means Marxism believes that state is evil. State is actually the instrument for rich to prevent poor from revolting against them. Therefore, they believe in stateless and classless society. They are against state. So definitely all these people, anarchists, Marxists, extreme liberalists, they believe state should not be there. And one of the very famous anarchists who believes that we do not require a state is बोलोगे तो freedom struggle करी, क्या क्या किया और क्या बात. Now Gandhiji says that Gandhiji also has a very interesting perspective that why the state is evil and we do not require state. Gandhiji says that state makes us dependent on it. Now, most of the people are not stealing from any other person, not because it is wrong, but for the fear of punishment by state. Most of the people are not doing anything illegal and wrong, not because it is wrong. This means they have no moral strength left. Rather, it is only the morality of fear. Can you understand this? It's a little abstract concept. Abstract in the sense it's a little different way of thinking it about morality. Gandhiji is saying that state makes us dependent on it for our moral choices. Rather than being strong morally ourselves, rather than making moral choices we are actually becoming more and more dependent on state, thereby preventing us from being the real moral agents. हम morally act ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. We are dependent on state for forcing morality on us. Further, what is the role of state? To prevent evil? To prevent crime? But Gandhi ji believes that humans are intrinsically good. Intrinsically very good and noble people. And if left free, if there is no suppression of state, then naturally we will act in good manner. ऐसा मानना था. Therefore, he said that if the state is removed, then humans, out of their own moral strength, will start behaving morally. There will be no crime to stop. Therefore, remove the state. Rather, if the state is removed, what will remain? Village communities. Village level communities. And these communities will be run on cooperation basis. Each and everyone will cooperate with each other. Gandhiji was against industrialization and capitalism. He said that industrialization, capitalism actually destroy our mindset. It destroys. So what does industrialization do? Supposedly, ये सब गांधी जी में भी लिख सकते हो आप लोग, है ना? All ideas are can be used anywhere. Essays, ethics, here, fine. So Gandhiji was against industrialization and capitalism. Why? Because it corrupts the mindset. Example, today you open a factory. ठीक है? आपने 100 लोग रखे. You employ 100 people and you earn 1000 rupees, supposedly. Fine. Now immediately, what is your next thought? If I employ 2000, then I can get 2000 rupees. And if I can make this 100 work twice harder, and the same salary, I can get 2000. Next, how do I sell this? Demand was only 1000, but I have created 2000. Capitalism. Now what do I do? What does an industrialist have to do? Create demand. अब demand कैसे create करेंगे? How can a person create demand? Advertisement, manipulation. They will say, oh, हवाई चप्पल से काम नहीं चलेगा. तुम्हें क्या चाहिए? Shoes, sport shoes. After some time, sport shoes market exhausted. Now you need memory foam, because memory foam gives you the cushion. Your legs will not get hurt. And after some time, memory foam market exhausted. Everyone now has a memory foam in shoes. Now they say, now you require air bubble technology, breathing shoes. You breathe or not. Shoes should keep on breathing. Now that market also exhausted. Now antibacterial shoes. Howsoever smelly you are, but the shoes won't smell. What is this? Creating demand where there is not required. A person who was really happy in हवाई चप्पल, उसको 10 जूते बेच दिए. And now to buy that memory foam, जो भी होता है सेम। अच्छा तुम लोग आईफोन ज्यादा रिलेट करोगे, तुम लोग यार मतलब जूते वूते तो हाँ जूता ठीक है नहीं था। मोबाइल फोन, you will have this facility, corona glass, है ना, 258 GB मेमोरी, है ना, 58 मेगा 60 मेगापिक्सल कैमरा। फोटो तुम्हें वैसी ही खींचनी है। आर यू अ प्रोफेशनल फोटोग्राफर? घर की फोटो खींचोगे जो तुम कभी नहीं देखोगे दोबारा, फ्रेंड्स के साथ खींचोगे, मैक्सिमम एक बार कहीं पे स्टोरी पे लगाओगे एक फोटो। will you see those 100 photos ever? But you will buy that phone of 60 megapixel. You understand? This is how capitalism creates demand and at the same time creates greed. It creates products which are not required. And the products which are not required, when you demand, when you want those products which are not required by you, this means you will give away your peace, sleep, and you will work extra. जैसे एक आदमी था, अब एक कहानी सुनाती हूँ, अरे यार in very short, there was a man sleeping leisurely under a tree. He was very calm and बड़े आराम से धूप सेकते हुए सो रहा था. A man came and he was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, I am sleeping. But why are you sleeping? You are a fisherman. Go and catch fish. I have caught fish for today's eating, today's meal. I have caught it. So now I am sleeping. What a stupid man you are. You should work harder. If you can get twice the fish, you can sell half the fish to the market. What will happen then? And if you will sell it, you will get money. And once you save enough, you can get a power boat. Then you will fish 10 times extra. But then you sell it again. You save a lot of money. After you save a lot of money, you buy a big ship. Your capacity will be 100 times extra. Then you set up a food processing industry. This, that, you will have many ships working for you. You can become a very big fish, company with food processing, etc., etc. He said, what will I do after that? Yeah. What then? What? Go and sleep? So the man says, what do you think I'm doing right now? Understood? So in simple terms, Gandhiji is saying, rather than sleeping after having a lot of sleepless nights, and then also you will not be able to sleep for sure. If you can sleep at the first instance, why to take so much trouble? In simplicity, he says that industrialization and capitalization does nothing. It basically creates demand for things which are not required. It basically makes you work harder for nothing significant. And it basically takes away your time and peace, preventing you from spiritual enhancement. Rather than discovering, rather than spending time on who you are, what is the aim of your life, and all of these things, you spend time in 99 का फेयर. What is 99 का फेयर? नहीं पता तुम लोगों को? Nobody knows. बता देती हूँ बहुत short. There was a man. He was very satisfied. He earned only 1 coin per month, and that was enough for him. One day, Narad ji was going on, and he said to the God, है ना, Krishna Bhagwan, he said what a satisfied man he is. So Krishna ji said that he has not yet been tested. Yes. What means to test a person and the greed of a person, we will have to do something. So Narad ji says, no, I am pretty sure this man is really satisfied. He is a very satisfied soul. Krishna ji says, okay. Next day morning, when this man wakes up, he finds 99 coins beside his bed. So he counted it. He counted 10 times. They were 99. Now he wanted to make it 100. For 100, he would have to save 1 coin. But his expenditure was already 1 coin and he earned only 1 coin. Now he wanted to increase his income. And he started to work hard till the time he could save 1 coin. But the moment he put 1 coin, the 1 coin used to evaporate. So he always worked hard till the time he could make it 100. So this is known as 99 का फेयर in simple terms. Fine? Okay. चलो. ना गांधी जी का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू समझ में आ गया? जैसे हाँ तो कुछ भी बिक रहा है. क्या लगाने के लिए लाया था? क्या लाया था? ग्लास सिपर. No. You are right, but you have to understand that a lot of people are buying things which are not no. Understand it like this. Exactly. कोई बात नहीं, चलो वैसे भी मैंने तो सरकारी नौकरी छोड़ दी. I'm not aligned to anything. So how many big brands, fashion brands do you know? Many? Normal shop also sells the same t-shirt, good quality t-shirt, 300 rupees. I'll tell you. Okay, fine. All the t-shirts that you are wearing are either made in China or in Bangladesh or in few centers of India. Mostly. And most of your branded t-shirts are made in Bangladesh. Mostly. Vietnam is also a center, but let's take Bangladesh. So the same factory, some standardized specifications are given by the brand that you will use 2-way cloth, 3-way cloth or 4-way cloth with this much thread size. वैसे हम ये क्यों discuss कर रहे हैं? This is not a marketing class, but understand it like this, that जो ये हमारा total industry जो बना रही है ना, they are making for Reebok, they are also making for Puma, they are also making for X, they are also making for Y, है ना? Now cost is decided not on the cost of cloth, brand value. Simple. Okay? And brand value is created not on the basis of product value, but on the basis of the way a product is projected. You know? Like एक लड़की ने एक टॉप पहना हुआ है ना? A girl has worn a clothing of हाँ जारा तो भी हम आएंगे, पहले तो इंडियन ब्रांड सोच लेना हम एक, सुमन जी क्लोथिंग का है ना. And another girl has worn the t-shirt from Zara. Now tell me, just by this information, who is richer? The Zara one. How did you lead to this conclusion? Brand Zara is expensive, right? And now if you want to look rich, you will buy, even though the quality is same, or even if the Suman is better, Suman Ji Creations is better. Most of the people will go for, why? Everybody wants to look rich. Simple, है ना? So it's fine. I'm not against any company. They are also working hard for their whatever branding, shbranding and all. Okay? Okay, fine. So do you understand? State is evil. Who will consider this? This means all these you can write. Fine. Next. So state is evil. Then there are people who say state is necessary evil. ये लोग तो स्टेट हटा रहे थे ना. These people wanted stateless society. Gandhi ji said state hata do, Marx said state hata do, anarchists said, remove the state. We do not want states. We need stateless society. But the next people come, they say state is a necessary. State is evil, but problem is it's a necessary evil. Therefore, state should be kept at minimum. Government should be minimum. Come. उतने ही काम देने हमें स्टेट को. We need to give only that work to state which is essential, and no other work should be given to state. कौन से लोग हैं ये? Libertarians. Basically, people who believe in liberty. People who believe in liberty of an individual. Now they are saying that we want maximum liberty. Individual wants maximum liberty. And when can the maximum liberty be ensured? When there is no restriction on merit, when there is no restriction on income, when there is no restriction on social status. At the same time, role of government is restricted only to maintain law and order. कोई crime ना हो, there should be no crime, and everybody should be free to do whatever they want. Like economic policy of these people will be laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means minimum intervention of government. Minimum. This means government will not do welfare, because welfare is not the job of government according to them. According to them, only job of government is to maintain law and order and reduce crime. Just that. So maximum liberty for individual means minimum government. ठीक है? Sure? कैपिटलिस्ट कंट्री सारी, अब सारी वेलफेयर हो गई हैं, लेकिन हाँ 1929 के पहले. ठीक है? बेसिकली इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के टाइम कंट्रीज और यूरोप इन industrial revolution was basically like this. Government was responsible only for majorly. तुम लोगों ने हिस्ट्री पढ़ी नहीं. How many of you have completed history? World history. अच्छा ठीक. No problem. No problem. देखो. Basically ऐसे समझ लो, there was some ancient economy that was going on which worked on barter system. I grow wheat, you grow cotton. I will give you 1 kg of wheat, you give me half kg of cotton. I will use this cotton to weave my clothes. Else, I do not want to weave my clothes. I will give this cotton to the weaver and I will give 1/10 of the cotton to the weaver. And from the 9/10, I will get my cloth back. This is barter system. This was the ancient way. After that, currency got invented. Then in medieval times, basically, feudalism got enhanced. Feudal lords. So lords were there. And these lordships used to have basically land. And there were laborers, serfs, who used to till that land. Initially, king was not a very strong position. Feudalism was much more stronger. Each feudal lord had to maintain his army and they also maintained their land revenues, etc. Some of that revenue was sent to the king if he was maintaining a good relationship with the lord. But lords were themselves very strong. And any feudal lord who used to become very strong, he used to topple the king. Simple. That was the whole game that was going on. Slowly and steadily, monarchy came up. There were certain kings who asserted in Europe, asserted their powers and subdued these feudal lords and became monarchs and kings. And when the kings became really strong, this feudalism actually turned into nobility. Nobility means that now king used to set some perks and privileges for this nobility. And revenue used to go to the king through nobility only. But army, keeping army separately, that was slowly and steadily reduced to a substantial position, so that no more feuds can have control over king. King became supreme power. But the moment king became supreme power, which it came into conflict with religion, in specific church. Till the time nobility was there, till the time छोटे मोटे rajas were there, church was very powerful because there was no one central thing that could control the church, and rather everyone tried to use church for their own benefit, because church also held revenues for some land. They also held a lot of power, not over people, but over political issues also, because church was working like a broker, whereby church would broker the deals between two feudal lords. It would broker the deal between the feudal lord and a king. उसकी लड़ाई चल रही है, बीच में चर्च आती है, वो चर्च को कहते कि अच्छा हम आपको इतना ग्रांट दे देंगे, we will do this. तो चर्च का जो बिशप है या वो है, वो जाएंगे, हेड है, वो जाके बात करेंगे और किंग को कहेंगे अरे मान जाओ, है ना, नहीं मानोगे तो देखो ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे, 4 किंग मेरे अंडर हैं, ये 4 जो फ्यूडल लॉर्ड्स हैं मेरे अंडर हैं, they all will attack, मान जाओ. So basically church had become not just the power of religious center, it was also working as a important center for political decisions also. And the moment these two, जैसे king strong हुआ, उसकी पहली लड़ाई किससे होनी तय थी? Church. Now, king wanted to take independent political decision, but church wanted to intervene. Every time this conflict was happening. And after a lot of struggles came the concept of secularism. इन्होंने बोला, बेटा church, you remain in your domain of religion. Politics is the domain of state. Therefore, all state decisions will be taken up by the king. In religious domain, you remain paramount. You take your decisions. State will not intervene in religion, and religion will not intervene in state. Secularism. Strict separation of religion and state. After kings, constitutional monarchies. Because when kings were working, they were working like tyrannical dictators. And slowly and steadily, people, as the modernization, industrialization happened, there was this starting of a middle class. And how did middle class happen? Because of urbanization. Earlier, rural agrarian economy. But when the urban centers, जब industry आई, कहाँ लगी? London में लगी. This means then when the urban centers formed, labor was required. From where the labor will come? Rural cities. Rural cities, these landless serfs, they migrated to urban centers. And now they were getting employment. And they were earning better. Because तब तो वहाँ पे उनके पास ना land है, ना कुछ है, वो तो बेचारे बड़े तब भी exploited थे. But at least they had some peaceful leisure time. But they moved to urban. And they were, though initially they were relieved from the kind of tyranny of a feud. पहले तो उन्हें लग रहा था, वाह क्या मजा आ गया, feudal lord से मुक्ति मिल गई, है ना? वो बार बार हमें ऐसे कह के बुलाता था, हमारी बेइज्जती करता था, and we used to do free work for him, or all these problems. Urban center, they felt good, but soon they realized that industry owners were no better than feudal lords, because slowly and steadily their working hours were increased. 18 hours, 20 hours working time. हाँ, लेकिन ये सब चार्ल्स डिकेंस पढ़ा होता तो पता होता. चार्ल्स डिकेंस की नॉवेल्स में आता है. अब जब ये हमारे ये यहाँ पे आए, urbanization, in urbanization this labor became the middle class basically. Now these people wanted some freedom. They wanted more freedom, political, economic and social. And for this freedom, they wanted some restrictions on not church, industry owners. Industry के ऊपर ये चाहते थे कि कुछ restriction लगे, हमारे लिए कुछ welfare काम हो. अभी तक तो liberalism चल रहा है ना, ये वाला तो liberalism चल रहा है. Government is working for rich. Now these people, these poor people, middle class people, started asking the government for labor laws, welfare measures, restrict our working time, restrict that children and women will not work for long hours. And there was also socialism that was coming in from different direction, inspiration for socialism. And with this, more and more socialist type of welfare type of system was created, which later on became as constitutional monarchy, and from constitutional monarchy to democracy. But has the exploitation stopped? Reduced. Has the liberty achieved? Have we achieved the liberty? Improved. Do we have equality? But equality of opportunity is definitely there. Is everything just now? No. But better justice system. Now at least we have laws Simple. So this is how the whole Western philosophy, Western history has worked out. समझ में आ गया? अब same history, if you want to understand monarchy to democracy, if you want to understand liberalism to socialism, the same thing if you want to understand from barter system to modern socialist system or rather mixed economy, same thing. मतलब आप सारी चीजें politically again this timeline, economically this timeline, socially this timeline. If you know the timeline, you can include it in all respects. Secularism बताना है, बता दो भाई, पहले ये था इसलिए डोमिनेंस हो गया था चर्च का, इसलिए सेकुलरिज्म आ गया. So one chain can be used everywhere. Okay. Next. अरे अब बताओ अगला क्या होगा? स्टेट इज गुड. गुड किसके लिए? सोशलिस्ट के लिए. सोशलिस्ट क्या बोलेंगे? बताओ. State is such an important thing. Without state, can you maintain liberty? Without state, can you maintain equality? Exploitation can only be stopped by state. Welfare measures can only be stopped by state. Poverty can be reduced. Health can be ensured. All of the things, rights and duties can be ensured only by state. Therefore, state is definitely good. And state is required. Individual requires state. State helps in creating conditions for the development of personality for individual. State ऐसी conditions बनाता है. The moment there is a state, there will be no crime, or no means less crime, maintenance of law and order. People will be secure, individual will be secure. If there is a state, it will create economic policies so that there is no monopolization. Rather, everyone has equal opportunity to participate in economy. If there is a state, it will ensure that merit is ensured at the same time, equity is ensured. Disadvantaged sections like disabled, women, vulnerable sections or historical injustices are remedied through some affirmative action. Welfare policies will be taken up by state. Therefore, state is definitely good and required. State तो होना ही चाहिए. Socialists, जितने socialists होंगे सब. Then last is state is दी की जगह रखो. Anarchist. तुम लोग गांधी जी को भी समझेगा हूं. गांधी जी was an anarchist. किसको पहली बार पता चला ये बात? ओके. Fine. State is God's march on earth means absolute. State is absolute. Whatever state says, does, demands of an individual, individual must comply. Must comply. Must. Can an individual throw away state? If the state says, मार दो, मतलब Whatever state says is final and absolute. State is the final authority and all good, absolute good. All state policies are perfect. All state laws are perfect. Everything done by the state is perfect. Individual, does individual has any power against state? Only thing state an individual can do is to follow state with full heart. Nationalism at extreme core. Hitler, Nazism, fascism. Nazism क्या? जर्मन 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 एकदम ऐसे उसमें जो बोल दिया so who will support this? Nazis and Nazist systems or fascist systems? तुम्हें नोट्स मिल गए? आ रहे होंगे इट्स ओके। तुम लोग तो यार एकदम मतलब तो तुम्हें नोट्स तो मिले नहीं है तो बात 2 मिनट बाद ही सही देख लेना, इसमें भी सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है वैसे। तुम बताओ कहाँ आएंगे? कैपिटलिस्ट क्या सोचता है? कैपिटलिस्ट को क्या चाहिए? मैक्सिमम लिबर्टी। अच्छा, जब भी तुम्हें ऐसा है ना, थिंक लाइक अंबानी। What does Ambani want? Should government remove monopolization? They should ensure and promote monopolization. Okay. Do they want the government to tax them more? No. Tax. So, this means no tax, no welfare schemes. Simple. Less policies. Capitalism is good or bad? Vikas, you have to understand, balance is required. In the sense that without capitalism, socialism doesn't work. Socialism requires capitalist. अगर कोई कमाएगा ही नहीं तो कोई टैक्स देगा, वेलफेयर कैसे करोगे? Nationalism is a different orientation. Nationalism means nationalism is the feeling towards a state, right? It is not dependent on policies. They are more socialist in so एक second. Nationalism is not opposed to anything. Nationalism is a feeling towards your nation. Here we are discussing about how much control the state has. Okay? You can find a nationalist even in a libertarian. You can find a nationalist, of course, here तो होंगे ही, यहाँ पे तो मेजर ही है ना? यहाँ पे भी आपको nationalist मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर भी मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर नहीं मिलेंगे, of course. Like Rabindranath Tagore, he will come under this. Basically, he is somewhere in between rather, है ना? Rabindranath Tagore की जो सोच है वो कहीं पे, he is an internationalist. Rabindranath Tagore sir says that nationalism is again a very restrictive and narrow thing. He says the moment you become nationalist, you stop being a internationalist. अगर आप कंट्री की नेशनलिज्म पे बाउंड हो जाते हो, दिस मीन्स यू आर मूविंग अवे फ्रॉम द वैल्यूज ऑफ ह्यूमनिज्म. हाँ, तो तुम्हें क्या लग रहा है, ये लोग बड़े प्रैक्टिकल लोग हैं सब? इनके नाम के आगे लिखा है आइडियलिस्ट एंड यूटोपियन. बट टेल मी, you know, utopia is something to be pursued. प्रैक्टिकल तो भाई, प्रैक्टिकल कोई सपना. एक आदमी बोले यार मैं ना, वो क्या कहते हैं, मैं वो मम्मी, कभी बच्चों को सुना है मैं ट्रक ड्राइवर बनना चाहता हूँ? सुना है ना? भाई तुम क्या बनना चाहते हो? भाई मैं रेडी वाला बनना चाहता हूँ. Now currently, why this? So this is this kind of an aspiration? Would you be excited about? What brings excitement? Something which is no, that is the ideal, or that is the aspiration, right? And if you are making an aspiration, तो low aspiration थोड़ा ना बनाओगे. Aspiration तो high ही होनी चाहिए, है ना? देखो, रियलिस्टिक तो हो ही जाओगे तुम, लेकिन एस्पिरेशन तो थोड़ी ऐसे समझो, मतलब छोड़ो, मोटिवेशनल टाइप की वो हो जाएगा, हमारी क्लास भटक जाएगी. तो कम बैक. USA somewhat profited by capitalism, not somewhat, absolutely profited by capitalism. Capitalism is a good system which ensures merit, but unrestricted capitalism is bad because it leads to exploitation. Therefore, capitalism should be balanced by socialism, whereby welfare is also done. People who can excel should be allowed to excel. Merit should not be stopped, but those who are excelling can be taxed, can be asked to help, so that हमने कर तो लिया ना इक्वालिटी का चैप्टर, so that peaks and valleys are not very wide. The difference, टाउनी पढ़ा था, टाउनी उसी वही लिखना है, टाउनी लिखना है यहाँ पर. मैम, गांधी जी is then not nationalist. This is a trick question. We should not say like this. Rather, we should say he is a humanist and he is a neo-Vedantin. Whenever he wrote spiritually, he took he understood things in more comprehensive manner, and therefore it's not just right to say that whether he is nationalist or not, but we should understand he was not just nationalist. ठीक है? ओके. स्टेट का काम क्या होता है, ये भी चलो डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. वैसे तो बहुत जेनरिक है. टू मेंटेन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, स्टेबिलिटी से मतलब वेलफेयर स्कीम्स, एंश्योर राइट्स, जस्टिस सिस्टम, इंटरनेशनल ट्रीटीज, development of the nation, liberty, equality, justice. Then हो गया. इक्वालिटी में आ जाएगा, बट टू गिव इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज नियरली. ठीक है? बेसिकली इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी, सोशल पॉलिसी, लेजिस्लेशंस, सबको ये डिसाइड करेगा. लिख लिया या लिखवाऊं? लिख लोगे? इंडिविजुअल का रोल क्या होता है स्टेट में? Respect the rights of others and to do their own duty. Duty is an obligation to follow their duty. Okay. What else? और तुम्हारा कोई रोल है तुम्हारे देश में? Okay. What else? To participate in political activity. Okay. What else? Okay. Safeguard national interest. Respect state and its symbol. लो खुश रहो तुम लोग. हाँ? अरे ये ड्यूटी नहीं है, ये वो है, मतलब what do you say, a kind of something which will help, but it's not your duty. हो गया. नेशन बिल्डिंग. और पहले कॉन्क्रीट चीजें बता दो, ये जार्गन ही आ रहा है. प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, यस. फॉलो रूल्स एंड मेंटेन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर. फॉलो द लॉ ऑफ लैंड. व्हाट एल्स? वर्क फॉर नेशनल इंटेग्रिटी, ठीक है. और कुछ? अरे बोलो. देश से गद्दारी नहीं करना है, ठीक है भैया. गवर्नेंस में पार्टिसिपेट कर लो. सोशल नॉर्म्स को फॉलो करो. बेसिकली सिविक सेंस को फॉलो करना चाहिए. कहाँ ट्रैफिक रूल्स को फॉलो करना है, सब कुछ. एस्पिरेशंस, इंडिविजुअल एस्पिरेशंस लीड्स टू नेशनल डेवलपमेंट. ओके. ड्यूटीज क्या होती हैं? ड्यूटीज, ड्यूटीज. अच्छा सुनो, पहले तो यार सुनो, सिंपल तरीके से करते हैं. राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज के बीच में अंतर बता दो. राइट्स एंड बताओ डिफरेंस बिटवीन राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज. Duties are obligations. On what? Obligations on individual. Rights are claims. किस पे? Of individual on state. ठीक है, अब बताओ नेक्स्ट. Okay, rights are justiciable in India, है ना? And duties are not in India. Now there are some nations where duties are also justiciable. कहाँ से लिया है हमने राइट्स का कॉन्सेप्ट? विच कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? ड्यूटीज कहाँ? पक्का? अरे इतना इतना ज्यादा बेसिक क्वेश्चन है यार ये तो. जापान से क्या लिया है? छोड़ो, कोई बात नहीं, पॉलिटी में पढ़ लेना. लक्ष्मीकांत, पेज नंबर नाउ आई हैव फॉरगॉटन. Just open, there is a chart given in which what provisions are taken from which constitution is there. Before prelims, do read it because it is a वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट. पक्का? ओके. खैर कमिंग बैक, चलो हमारे यहाँ पे जस्टिसेबल नहीं है, राइट्स जस्टिसेबल है, ये जस्टिसेबल नहीं है. व्हाट नेक्स्ट? जस्टिसेबल का मतलब ही यही है, एनफोर्स्ड बाय लॉ. कॉन्क्रीट डिफरेंस बता दो. पॉलिटी नहीं है बेटा, फिलोसफिकल डिफरेंस बताओ. ओके, राइट्स आर needed for maintaining the dignity, like human rights. ठीक है. Now duties are in, ये दूसरों के राइट्स मेंटेन करना, अपने अपनी डिग्निटी मेंटेन करने के लिए तो राइट्स चाहिए. फॉर डिग्निटी ऑफ अदर्स you require to follow duties. Yes, duties are mainly boundaries of wherever your rights end, your duties start. Absolutely, very good. What else? लिखवा दूं या इसमें लिखा होगा? और बताओ. Every citizen do not follow the rights can be restricted by state. Yes, rights can be restricted by state, but duty has to be performed by individual. Right state देता है, duty individual perform करता है. Duty is a moral obligation, whereas right is more a legal claim. आपका right hamper हो जाता है अगर. What are the 5 kinds of writs? Very good. Can High Court issue? मैं आज पॉलिटिक्स को मैं बार-बार याद आ रही है मुझे. Can High Court issue writs? Supreme Court? Yes. Local courts? Okay. Very good. पढ़ रहे हैं मतलब पॉलिटी. Good. ओरिजिनल jurisdiction किसकी है? अच्छा, इसका मतलब क्या है ओरिजिनल jurisdiction का? किन केसेस के लिए जा सकते हैं? अंडर आर्टिकल ओके, ठीक है. चलो अब ड्यूटी जो है, द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ड्यूटी, टू अंडरस्टैंड इट लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड duty can also be understood in various manners, in various ways. One way of understanding duty is concept of dharma. Dharma means duty. We all should follow the dharma or dharma, and the person who is not following their duty is considered to be adharmi. The one who is not following the way, the prescribed way or the duty. जो गीता कहती है वो क्या कहती है? कर्म कर, फल की इच्छा मत कर. कर्म कर, कर्म किस चीज के बेसिस पे कर? व्हाट इज द क्राइटेरिया ऑफ चूजिंग द कर्म? धर्म. This means that whatever is required out of you as a duty, you should perform it. And when you are performing your duty, you should not be thinking about the fruits it will give. Because if you are attached to fruits, you are not performing it as a duty. Rather, you are working it like in a vested interest thing. And that will not keep your mind peaceful. But if you perform your actions like duty, then your mind will be at peace and the results are much better. Example, understand it like this: performing duty. Currently, what are your duties? To study. One way of studying is that when you sit to study, in 2 hours, you dream half an hour about what will you do after you become DM. Next half an hour, you think about what are the various things your friends who are not preparing for UPSC doing, how they are enjoying their life, how they are so satisfied. And then 1 hour, you disturbingly study. One way of doing it is this. And whenever you are studying, you are fearful that whether or not I will get selected. And the moment you feel fearful, you start thinking about, oh, with so much difficulty, my parents have sent me here. There was no money, there was no support, there was no this, there was no that. And with so much difficulty, they have sent me. And if I do not clear, all of it will go to waste. And now you are studying with pressure. बताओ तुम्हें क्या फिक्र है? हाँ, लग रहा है मुझे. So, a lot of anxiety. Will you be able to study? You will not be able to study. What will happen then? Less efficiency, less productivity, more disturbance, more anxiety, depression, fear, and etc. and etc. And results? Is there any way you are helping your results? No. Now, if you follow Gita and Krishna and Kant also says duty for duty sake. Now, all these, one textbook and 2 people, Krishna and Kant, they say, and you can include me too, that perform your duty for duty sake. This means you decide, can you do anything except studying right now? If you cannot do anything except studying, this means that should you be daydreaming about what will you do after DM ship? Whatever has happened, has happened. Can you change the conditions at home? Anyway? No? This means that only thing that is there in your hand is to study in the most efficient and productive manner. So rather than thinking about what the result will be, can you control the result? Will your anxiety improve your results? No? This means the only thing that is in your hand is studying efficiently. So you just study like it is your duty. You daily get up without thinking much, sit to study, finish your daily targets, finish your daily things, and without thinking, go to sleep. Next day, wake up without thinking, sit and study. Only thinking that you should be doing is how to improve your technique and strategy of studying. Should you be thinking about anything else? No. And when you perform your duty for duty's sake, firstly, you will be very peaceful. लोग हाय तौबा मचा रहे हैं. तुम्हारा रूममेट बार बार फेंट हो रहा है, तुम्हें लग रहा है पता नहीं क्यों फेंट हो रहा है ये आदमी। तुम चाय पीने गए, 10 लोग तुम्हें टेंशन में ज़ॉम्बी नजर आ रहे हैं, तुम बड़े मजे से सुड़ सुड़ करके चाय पी रहे हो। द रीजन इज यू आर परफॉर्मिंग योर ड्यूटी। और तुम कर ही नहीं, और कुछ करना ही नहीं है, इट्स लाइक अ ड्यूटी। एंड व्हेन यू परफॉर्म all your actions like duty, then you are not attached to the result. And when you are not attached to the result, your productivity, efficiency, and everything increases, and it's more likely that you will get successful. Very, very likely. This is Nishkam Karma. You're not thinking about desires too much. ठीक है? वही हमारे कांट का ड्यूटी फॉर ड्यूटी से एक है, यही कृष्णा का निष्काम कर्म। सिंपल। अब as easy it is to say, more difficult it is to act accordingly, है ना, to follow. But the thing is, it is possible. It is not an impossible task. So the concept of dharma is basically performing your duty. When you, what other duties do you have? Duty of a son or a daughter, duty of a friend, duty as a citizen of a nation. All of these things are basically your dharma. Raj dharma, putra dharma, putri dharma, mitra dharma. All of these are basically your duties. And performing your duties in the best possible way, without expecting anything in return. Which relation is best? The one which is based on expectations, or one where you do not, or rather which is not based on expectation? So will your relations will be bad or more meaningful? More meaningful. This means that when you perform your duty for duty's sake, your relationships improve, your career improves, and everything else, your peace of mind improves. This is the message of Gita. Simple terms. One way of understanding duty is this. Similarly, in Western notion, when you try to understand duty, you mostly understand it in the heads of political duty, social duty, and economic duty. Plus, you also have a duty towards your environment, where there you exist. सब टाइप की ड्यूटी और बना सकते हो। फेमिलियल ड्यूटी, ड्यूटी टुवर्ड्स योर फैमिली, national duty, duty towards your nation, civic duties. Civic duties means something that you should follow as your civic laws and natures. Like सब लोग लाइन में खड़े हैं तो बीच में लाइन तोड़ के नहीं जाना चाहिए, as your duty. It's your duty to stand in a queue properly. ठीक है? ड्यूटीज आती कहां से हैं? Western notion में majorly from rights. Your rights will also define your duties, because your duties are others' rights. अगर आपको right मिला है तो दूसरे को भी मिला है. Exact. This means that if you have the right of free speech, at the same time you have a duty to respect the free speech of others. So your rights also define your duties. They are the two sides of the same coin. If you look at from your side, it's your right. And when you look at the side from the others, it is your duty. Simple. Can you separate rights and duties? No. If you do not have rights, then you can have no duties. And if you have no duties, you cannot have rights. They are mutually dependent upon each other. But definitely, if you are more concerned about rights, rights के लिए कौन लोग ज्यादा concerned होते हैं? Liberal thought वाले, libertarians. They are more concerned about rights, so they will always demand more and more rights. But that system, will it be very successful? On the other hand, communists or extreme socialists, they are always talking about duties, citizens' ki duties. But without rights, can duties work? This is why the best system is democratic socialism, where there is the right mix of rights and duties. If you have a right, you also have a duty. Equal emphasis on both. Fine? Rights and duties. Now there are certain duties. Some duties are negative duties. Negative duties मतलब नहीं करना. It's your duty as a student to not talk among each other and disturb the class. And positively, it is your duty to practice and write answers. समझ में आया? नेगेटिव एंड आगे तुम आ गया? तुम्हें कैसे आ गया? नेगेटिव एंड पॉजिटिव ड्यूटी अंडरस्टूड? क्या होती है नेगेटिव ड्यूटी हर्षित? हाँ बताओ 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 बताओ. नहीं वो तो एग्जाम्पल था. द रियल कॉन्सेप्ट. रियल कॉन्सेप्ट तो बता दो. When you anything which is not is your duty. Prohibition of something. ठीक है? Now there is another natural and acquired duties. Some duties are naturally there. Some are given by state. जैसे natural duty है, moral duty है, किसी की मदद करना, है ना? To take care of you, your family, naturally. But if the state appoints you as an officer at a prominent post, then this will be an acquired duty. And this duty will mean that those specific duties you will have to perform owing to your post, owing to your placement. ठीक है? तो ये कैसी होगी? Natural duties and acquired duties. Perfect, imperfect duties. Perfect duties follow करनी ही करनी है. और imperfect duties मतलब थोड़ा बहुत कभी कभी अर्जेंसी हो तो बगल वाले से पेन मांग सकते हैं. Imperfect duties. अब perfect duty मतलब फंडामेंटल राइट टू लाइफ, वो किसी का आपने वो ब्रीच नहीं कर सकते. अंडरस्टूड? बस यार हो गया तुम्हारा, क्या बचा है और बताओ. गांधी जी क्या क्या मानेंगे बताओ. गांधी जी मैंने बताया था वेरी आइडियलिस्टिक थिंकर. ही विल से शुड वी फोकस ऑन राइट्स और ड्यूटीज. अब तुम धीरे धीरे समझने लगे हो गांधी जी को. देखो गांधी जी को एक बार समझ लोगे तो उसके बाद तुम खुद ही लिख दोगे गांधी जी के बारे में. You just have to understand his line of thought. He will say we should focus on our duties and rights are the natural product of it. हमें किस बात पे ध्यान देना चाहिए कि आखिर हमें देश के लिए करना क्या है, या मतलब संसार के लिए हमारी ड्यूटीज क्या है? सिंपल. किसी एक महान व्यक्ति ने ऐसा भी कहा था, डू नॉट आस्क व्हाट योर nation has done for you, ask what you have done for your nation. It is also focused on duty, concept of duty. Okay. आप बता दो हमें ड्यूटीज पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए या राइट्स पे? आइडियली तो दोनों पे, दोनों पे, बिकॉज वी आर अ डेमोक्रेटिक सोशलिस्ट कंट्री, है ना? Rather in the sense that we should focus on our protecting our rights and others' rights as well as performing our duties. दूसरों से तो खैर आप ड्यूटीज नहीं परफॉर्म करवा सकते, पर खुद परफॉर्म कर सकते हो. ठीक है, बस. अब राइट्स बता दो. राइट्स कौन कौन से राइट्स होते हैं? अच्छा, राइट्स का भी एक वो बता देती हूँ मैं. देखो, एक होते हैं नेचुरल राइट्स. नेचुरल राइट्स मींस those rights which accrue to all humans naturally. मतलब नेचुरल है वो, विदाउट मेरिट. कोई मेरिट की जरूरत नहीं है नेचुरल राइट्स के लिए. किसने दिए हैं हमें ये वाले राइट्स? नेचर. नेचर हैज गिवन दीज राइट्स टू अस. बेसिक राइट्स लाइक राइट टू लाइफ, right to movement, right to expression, basic rights of human, that thing which makes us human. अगर आप किसी व्यक्ति की सोचने समझने मूवमेंट लाइफ की राइट्स को हैम्पर कर दो, वो इंसान नहीं लगेगा. You know, there are a lot of scientific studies which have experimented this. So there have been various different ways of torturing in the history. In one of the researches, which were also a method of torture, few participants were not allowed to sleep. And after several days, they turn cannibalistic. Gee. First few hours, days, they were disoriented. Then they were acting like a little disturbed. And later on, it disturbed the mental balance in such a manner that they turned cannibalistic and they started eating themselves. This means they were no more humans. Similarly, if you take away the basic rights which is given by the nature, it is taking away the natural rights. And today what we call as human rights is the naturally, or rather a derived understanding of or modern understanding of natural rights only. अब इसका नाम human rights कर दिया natural rights की जगह. Basically they accrue to us because of being human. क्योंकि human है इसीलिए हमको. अब ये human rights क्या specific humans को मिलेंगे या सबको मिलेंगे? सबको. All humans. Will you attach any rider? Indian humans, American humans? No. Humans of all caste, creed, genders, colors, heights, everything, weights. यानी कि कोई क्राइटेरिया नहीं लगा सकते. Good, bad, सब पे मिलेंगे human rights because these rights are given just by the virtue of being human. आपने आदमी की शक्ल में जन्म लिया है तो आपके पास human rights हैं. And the principle of giving certain rights to criminals, terrorists, etc. is just to honor the humanity. Humanity as a concept in the sense human rights. Now, apart from human rights or natural rights, there are some historical rights. Historical rights means history has given some rights based on customs, traditions. ऐसे समझो, घर में कभी पापा आते हैं तो वो कहते थे पानी दे दो, है ना, और मम्मी आती है तो क्या कहती है? कुछ नहीं कहती, वो जाके ले लेती है, बोलती हाँ तुम्हें बोलती है, लेकिन उन्हें किसने दिया ये राइट? कस्टम, पहले बहुत समय से चल रहा है हिस्टोरिकली, दैट इज व्हाई इट हैज बिकम अ right. Particular caste will do this, particular section of society will do this, religious heads, priests, Maulvis, etc. will do this. That is the Raj Parivar who will perform the puja of the mandir on this day. Who has given them the right? Custom and traditions. So some rights that we see in society are given by history, historical rights, in the sense of custom, traditions, precedents have set these rights, and definitely they are not absolute in nature. बहुत समय तक राइट चलता है, अगर कुछ रिफॉर्म करना होता है तो या तो सोसाइटी रिफॉर्म कर देती है, नहीं तो स्टेट रिफॉर्म कर देता है, and the right slowly and steadily changes. But these rights are again to be changed. It requires social acceptance. Until and unless a right is realized by society, even if there is a law, it doesn't make, it is not a realized right. Example, ये भी समझ लेते हैं, इसको चार्ट को कंप्लीट कर लेंगे. ये इंडिविजुअल है, बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल मिलकर क्या बनाते हैं? सोसाइटी. सोसाइटी क्या बनाती है? स्टेट. फाइन. सो नाउ individual, lot of individual having common preferences leads to the common general will of state, society, and society says to the state, ये law बना दो. This law should come. Now, law can be positive and negative in the sense that it can ask to do something or to prevent something. Law ने बोला domestic violence नहीं करो, dowry नहीं लो. They also said positively. They said reservation दे दो, है ना, protection दे दो. Positive, something negatively. Society ने, क्योंकि society supported something, then it was supported by state. At the same time, there are a lot of laws which will not be supported by society, but state will make those laws to bring improvement in society. Like एक section ने बोला dowry मत लो, लेकिन major society ने accept नहीं किया. Majority of the society has not accepted it. Therefore, even when there is a anti-dowry law, has it stopped? This means that even though when there is a right, if the society doesn't accept, it will not be realized. It will not be realized. To make a right effective, society must take part in it. Take another example. Do you think people of Afghanistan also have human rights? people of there are various wars going on in world. They all have human rights, but अब वो जो human rights हैं वो हैं तो realize क्यों नहीं हो रहे? अगर ह्यूमन राइट्स हैं तो अफगानिस्तान की रिमोट एरिया में रहने वाली लेडी के पास क्यों नहीं है? Very right. So there are people who say that rights are given by nature. Then there are people who say rights are given by history. And there are people who say that rights are given by state. If state doesn't give us the rights, then we do not have rights. This means rights are actually given to us by state. If state of Afghanistan doesn't give right to its citizens, they will not have any realizable rights. ठीक है? और कहां से आते हैं राइट्स बताओ? डिवाइन राइट थ्योरी, भगवान, इसको कोई मानता नहीं है ज्यादा, बट पहले डिवाइन राइट्स थ्योरी, किंग को कौन चूज करता था? ऐसा मानते थे कि किंग तो भगवान का भेजा हुआ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है. All kings claim that they are the son of God, whether Egyptian or whether Indian, isn't it? पढ़ा होगा ना एंशिएंट इंडिया में. So हाँ, so generally all kings claim divine rights, that we have been given rights to rule by God. और बताओ, नेचुरल राइट्स और लीगल राइट्स के बीच में डिफरेंस कर लोगे? वैसे इसमें मिल जाएगा. और पैसिव राइट, बेसिकली मैंने क्या किया ना, बहुत सारे अलग अलग जगह पे वो थे क्लासिफिकेशंस. वी हैव कंपाइल्ड. ये नोट्स आपको उस पे एलएमएस पे भी मिल जाएंगे और कल मिल जाएंगे. आई थिंक अभी प्रिंट नहीं हुए होंगे इसलिए नहीं आए, नहीं तो ऐसे बहुत सारी क्लासिफिकेशंस हैं, है ना? जस्ट रीड देम वंस. कभी बहुत ज्यादा पूछ ही नहीं गई हैं, बट इट इज गुड टू बी अ लिटिल एक्स्ट्रा प्रिपेयर्ड, सो दैट अगर कभी आए तो आप कर सकें. अरे क्या तुमने पैकिंग क्यों शुरू कर दी? मैंने कब बोला कि मैं तुम्हें छोड़ रही हूँ? मतलब तुम लोग क्या मूवी देखते देखते खुद ही गेज कर लेते हो कि अब ये एंड होने वाली है? हाँ वही मैं देख रही हूँ कि ये तुम लोगों की अचानक से ऐसे मूवमेंट सी कैसे हो गई. मैम प्लीज सेंड नोट्स ऑन टेलीग्राम बट ऑल्सो ऑन एलएमएस. वी आर नॉट एबल टू डाउनलोड एंड गेट देम प्रिंटेड. Okay, Arshpreet, I will ask them to send on Telegram also. यार ये इन्होंने ना, मैं बताती हूँ इन्होंने क्या किया था. जो टीम है उसने ना क्लास नोट्स बनाए थे पर बहुत इलैबोरेट बना दिए थे, है ना? सो मैंने उन्हें बोला कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बनाना, उन्होंने सच में बहुत कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बना दिए. सो इट इज लाइक कि आपको हमने सोशल पॉलिटिकल की एक बुक दे रखी है ऑलरेडी, 400-500 pages, and I wanted book to be comprehensive so that you don't have to read anything else, है ना? so that all the sources whatever there are they should be in your book, so extra reading के लिए आप book use कर सकें. But for class notes I wanted something to be very precise and to the point, जिससे आंसर लिखे जा सकें. बट जो ये नोट्स इन्होंने बनाए वो बड़े कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बना दिए. अब मैं उन्हें छोटा करवा रही हूँ. ठीक है, मिल जाएंगे तो मैं आपको मैं तो अभी अभी आपको डलवा दूंगी उस पे LMS पे, लेकिन लंबे और बड़े नोट्स देने का कोई फायदा नहीं है ना, which are not readable. So what we are doing, we are working on creating very precise to the point 5-6 pages max of class notes basically. ठीक है, लेकिन ये वाली बात भी है कि अगर आपको वैल्यू एडिशन करना है तो उन 5-6 पेजेस से काम नहीं चलेगा. बेसिक आंसर राइटिंग हो जाएगी, लेकिन जो एक्स्ट्रा मार्क्स एक्सीलेंट नंबर टाइप के जो आंसर्स लिखने हैं ना उसके लिए कुछ एक्स्ट्रा तड़का चाहिएगा in simple terms. Fine. So the moment we have those precise notes, we will upload it on the LMS. I am not very what do you say, Telegram, the team is not very comfortable rather in sharing it on Telegram, because then it goes everywhere. है ना? I wanted to, if I dictate, then it is fine, but then it takes up a lot of time. I don't know. मतलब ठीक है, it's fine. So we will put it on LMS. बाकी you people are wise enough. Sorry, we will put it on Telegram. You people are wise enough. ठीक है, और बताओ. All good? एक छोटा सा टॉपिक रह गया है, अकाउंटेबिलिटी. लेकिन तुम लोगों के तैयार बैग देख के, हाँ करवा दूं. अरे ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, कॉपी निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ खास नहीं. अकाउंटेबिलिटी टू होम, टू होम, who are you accountable to? So if you are a believer, you will say accountable to God. If you are not a believer, then you are accountable to your own self. And apart from that, you are accountable to the state, because state is giving you protection and all those security, safety, resources, rights. Therefore, you are also duty bound and accountable to the state. You are accountable to the authorities in whatever way. जब स्कूल में थे तो स्कूल अथॉरिटीज, कॉलेज में थे तो accountable to college authorities. Till the time you are not earning and leaving the house, you are also accountable to your parents. जिस दिन बदतमीजी करोगे उस दिन क्या करेंगे पेरेंट्स? जायदाद में से नाम काट देंगे तुम्हारा. In simple terms. So basically, but that jokes apart, you are accountable to your own conscience, your own conscience. You are very accountable to. If you are not doing something right, then the feeling of guilt will persist, and it will persist for a long time. In simple terms, that accountability is at various levels, vertically and horizontally. As an individual, you are accountable to the society, you are accountable to the neighborhood, you are accountable to your family, you are accountable to your community, you are accountable to your religion. This means accountability again is a very diverse thing, just like rights, duties and accountability. And most of the time, the sense of duty brings accountability. If you do not have a sense of duty, will you have any accountability? Only if you have a sense of duty, then you will have accountability. Now, why is the concept of accountability necessary? क्यों जरूरी है accountability? To make a person responsible, yes. Okay, to understand self better. Or to know that we are on the right path or not. Rather, any system works on the concept of accountability. Let us take political system. Political leaders are accountable to people. If they are not made accountable to the people, then they will become tyrannical and dictators. They work for the social welfare only because there is accountability. Socially, if you are not socially accountable, you will become like a social alien, isn't it? अगर आपको ये डर ना हो कि सोसाइटी क्या कहेगी, तो will you accept the social norms? No. Society keeps you accountable. एक दिन कुछ अलग करके देखो, ऐसा घूर के देखेंगे ना सब, अगले दिन से हिम्मत नहीं होगी कुछ अलग करने की. जैसे ऐसा मन करे तुम्हें कि नहीं नहीं, आई एम अ डेविएंट, है ना, आई विल डू समथिंग डिफरेंट. एक दिन अपनी नाक पे से लाल रंग लगाकर आ जाओ, है ना, या आईज पे से ब्लैक ब्लैक करके आ जाओ. अब देखो तुम्हें सोसाइटी देख देख के हंस हंस के मार देगी. सोशल अकाउंटेबिलिटी, इकोनॉमिक अकाउंटेबिलिटी. इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम्स आर सो, कोई साइबर फ्रॉड करता है, तुरंत सिस्टम कैचेस as soon as possible. रिलीजन, अगर रिलीजन ना हो, एथिक्स ना हो, तो moral argument of Kant. Remember moral argument of Kant? Use it here. गीता का मैसेज, you are accountable to only me, the Lord Krishna. In Mahabharata he says, सब मुझसे आते हैं, सब मुझ में ही समा जाते हैं. All start with me and everything ends with me. This means the only ultimate accountability lies to God or Krishna or Brahm. In Advaita Vedanta, है ना? In Jainism, ultimate responsibility lies in Anant Chatushtay or soul. In Buddhism, ultimate accountability to whatever temporary self is, to that ever-changing thing, Pratyutya Samutpad. This means, and even in Christianity, ultimate accountability is towards the Lord, the 10 Commandments. This means all religion talk about accountability to supernatural God. Or accountability is a very necessary system thing to maintain any system. अगर accountability नहीं होगी तो ना government work करेगी, ना family work करेगी, कुछ work नहीं करेगा. So accountability is very necessary and it is derived from duty. इसी के साथ बाय. अच्छा, blood money, एक सेकेंड, एक छोटा सा टॉपिक रह गया. थैंक यू अतुल. So blood money. So in certain जो हमने ये पढ़ा ना retributive, उसी में एक compensatory punishment भी होती है, which is right now followed, or not right now rather, was earlier followed in African tribes somewhere. So it is like, if a person has done a crime, then to compensate the other person, the victim or the victim's family, there used to be a proper what do you say, compensatory penalty that used to be imposed on accused. Like, अगर एक व्यक्ति ने दूसरे व्यक्ति को मार दिया, Now to compensate the family, this person, the accused, will have to give a lot of money to the family. This is also known as blood money. लेकिन इसमें problem क्या है? This is not justice. First, rich will always compensate. वो कहेंगे वाह वाह बहुत बढ़िया, मार दो और उसके बाद पैसे दे दो. Can you put value to the life in some rupees? No. Therefore, even though it brings a kind of a compensation to the family or the person, it is not the right way of bringing justice. अफ्रीका में कई जगह फॉलो होता है, ये होता था ज्यादा पहले. दिस इज नोन एज व्हाट यू से ब्लड मनी. वहां पे बहुत सारी ट्राइब्स में ऐसा हो. ठीक है. ओके, बाय बाय.